What you're about to see is a discussion between me and Avicen on whether classical theism entails that creation is eternal. I said no and took the Thomist position, while Avicen, a Muslim, said yes. For context, this debate began because me and another Christian, Yaqub, were asked to debate with Muslims on the Trinity. Initially, I was expecting Yaqub to debate Avicen, but that discussion never really began, as Avicen said that Yaqub was being too disrespectful and thus refused to debate with Yaqub. So, since Avicen didn't want to debate with Yaqub, and I was the other person requested to debate, I decided to debate Avicen, but then Avicen said that he wanted to make the call a discussion about classical theism. This is despite the fact that we were called specifically to discuss the Trinity. Regardless, I accepted the offer, as there were already people waiting for the dialogue to begin in the call.
All right. Oh my goodness. All right. The effect
Can't you
does not
just finish
follow its
it?
complete. The effect does not follow its complete cause with delay. Do you agree? Yes or no?
I'm gonna hold judgment until you read the whole thing out. That's why I usually ask you to
Okay.
do
The
the
effect.
whole.
Okay.
So
Cool. Okay. No problem. The effect
yeah,
does not follow its complete cause with delay. That's my major premise. My minor premise: God's eternal will is a complete cause of the creation. My conclusion is therefore the creation must not be delayed from God's eternal will. It must be eternal as well.
we probably reject premise one, saying that the effect happens posterior to the cause.
Great. Okay. So that is the principle of casual necessity. An effect necessarily follows from its complete cause without delay. You said that there is a delay that happened. Okay. I want to know what is the
Yeah.
delay that happened here, and what is the reason behind the delay that happened here.
Like, what's the? Are you asking epistemically or are you asking metaphysically? Yeah, he's appealing
No, I'm
for that.
asking metaphysically. What is the delay here? Yeah.
I mean, why do I have to give a metaphysical reason behind it? As long as I can just deny that premise, the argument doesn't follow.
Oh yeah, but why are you denying the premise?
It's your premise. It's your burden to prove it. I don't have a burden to prove the premise is
It's
false
my
when
burden to prove it. Everywhere in this world right now, when we see everything, every single place in this world, if I slap this window right now, it breaks instantly. If I punch it instantly, it breaks. The cause happens, the effect happens. The cause is my punch, the amount of punch that I have, the strong, the bullet, whatever. The instant effect happens. I have never seen a delay in any effect that happens in this world. And if I grant you a delay in the effect that happens in this world, there needs to be an explanation, and that is the PSR that I'm
All
looking
right.
for.
So
What is
is
the
your
PSR behind
argument
the delay?
basically inductive? Is your argument inductive?
It's actually a deductive argument.
No, because your argument for premise one seems to be inductive, right?
What's my premise one?
That there's no delay between cause and effect. That's basically what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your argument for there being no delay is that it's an inductive proof, right? It's not deductive
You think it's an inductive
argument.
proof? No problem. I got you. I'll grant you anything you want. Show me one thing in
Okay.
this universe right now that has a cause where the effect is delayed without an explanation. Go ahead.
Without an explanation, do you mean like one
Yeah,
that's known or one that's just not there? Because I can say there's an explanation, but
give me an
it's just
example.
not known.
Give me the example.
I told you I can. You don't have to
Oh
give
yeah,
a
okay.
concrete
Yeah, holding.
example to
Yeah,
show that
holding to
something's
appeal. Yeah,
possible.
holding. Yeah, it's possible. Wait, what? So if did this right
I
now,
don't
did you hear
have to
that?
give
My
a
window.
concrete example to prove
Wait, hold on.
something
But
is
wait, hold on.
possible.
Did you hear that? Did you hear
And
that?
the
Did you
issue,
hear that? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Did you hear that? Listen to me. Listen to me. Did you hear
yeah,
that?
once
Listen.
again, this is just an inductive proof. The issue is I don't
Okay,
have to
great,
give a
great,
concrete example to show
great,
something
great.
is possible.
Okay, but I see an
So, for
inconsistency
example, I
here.
can say that on the basis of divine revelation, I'll just reject the premise and say that, yeah, there's a delay between the cause and effect.
Yeah, what is the reason behind the delay?
Once
When
again, if
God's
you're
eternal
asking,
will. Have you heard premise two? Have you heard premise two or no?
yes, that God creates the
What's
world,
premise one?
right? That's basically what you're trying to
No,
say.
no. God's eternal will. When did God will to create the universe?
When? You're
Yeah,
a
when?
little unclear. Yeah, God,
Okay.
what's it called?
Uh-huh.
Wills before creation, but the effect of that will is posterior to it.
Wait. Before creation, when? Are you talking about before creation exactly or eternally?
Yeah, eternally, but the effect is
No, eternally.
posterior.
Okay. The effect is what?
The effect is posterior. The effect is
The time
temporal. The
exists or
wisdom is
no? Okay, hello. Does time exist or no that at that point?
That's kind of a nonsensical question if you're saying that time exists at that point, because if
Okay.
you're saying there's
That
a point in
requires time,
time,
right?
then
Entitles time,
yeah,
right? Yeah, that's
yeah,
time.
that
Okay, great.
requires
So do
time.
you hold time being created?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, wait. So time was created, but there happened a delay between eternity and a certain point. How?
Is there like a? Are you saying there's a contradiction between the two?
I mean,
Because what I
if you
said
say that there
specifically
is a
was that
delay,
the
that means it
okay.
entitles time. What? Okay, when was time
What I
created?
said was that the effect is temporal,
My
but the
brother, my brother,
cause
my
is
brother.
eternal,
You will not
right?
get out of this. I'm telling you. This is the point that I want you to get to. It's great that you said time. When was time created?
At the beginning, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Okay,
where are
at
you
the
trying to
beginning.
go with that?
What's the beginning?
Like, when or what? What are you trying to ask with that?
What
Because
is the beginning? What do you mean by the beginning? For example, God eternally willed the universe to be created at a certain
um,
point. You agree, right?
Well, no, I said that at a certain point implies temporality, so I'm trying to get you to
Great.
clarify that.
Okay. So when was the universe created?
At t0, at time zero. So yeah, at the beginning.
Okay. Great. Okay, at time zero. What was before time? Nothing, right?
God.
Okay, great. So God eternally wills for the universe to be created at a certain point.
Yeah, and the
Time was still not
universe. Okay.
created. Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. Calm down. Right.
Okay.
God wills for the universe to be created at a certain point. You said at time zero. Okay, great. There is a delay. How is there a delay when time wasn't created? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I would just say that the universe is created at t=0, right? In order for the universe to be uncreated, you would have to say that there's no t=0, and rather it just goes on for infinity, right? So that's how we would say it's remains created and temporal. So that's how we would account for the delay. So the effect
I'm glad
is
I'm recording this. I'm glad I'm actually recording this. You know that when you say that there's a delay that entitles a time, you know that, right?
yeah, I get
How
what
can
you're
there be delay
arguing.
without a time, brother?
I just explained that. I just told you the effect is something inside
Uh-huh.
time, meaning that the universe
Time.
exists from t0. However, the
Okay.
willing of it is not in
Okay.
any temporal
So
location.
there is a delay, right?
Yeah, in the sense I just outlined.
Can there be a delay without time?
No, and we're specifically
Okay,
talking
so
about in the
time
sense I just
existed
outlined.
before the universe. Okay, so time existed eternally because there's a delay.
No, you didn't understand what I said. I'm saying that the willing itself is not in a location in time, but the effect of that willing is going to be at
Okay.
t0.
What
So
is
time,
the what is the absolute sorry, what is the complete cause for the creation?
God.
Okay, God's will.
Yeah, God.
Mhm. God's will or God?
I mean, they're the same in Thomism, so I don't see the issue with that. Because God is identical
Okay,
to his
great.
will.
Okay. So if there is a delay, sorry, if the will is eternal,
Uh-huh.
therefore, you've said that there is a delay. I've granted you that there is a delay, no problem. I know there is a delay in your belief. But
Yeah,
again,
but
I'm
did
saying,
you
wait,
yeah,
hold
do you
on.
know what I
Can I
mean when
speak?
I say
All
there's
right,
a
you can go
delay
ahead,
there?
finish speaking, and let me speak after. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, but when we say there's a delay, what I specifically mean by that is that the will itself is not located at some temporal location. So it's not like at T1 or T2 or something like that. However, the universe itself or time itself begins to occur at T0. So God wills something, and this willing is not at T0. However, the effect of that willing is at T0. So time is created at T0, basically.
Okay, time is created at 2 0. He entitled the time. He already measured the time. The brother here, the smart brother, measured the time for the existence of time without time being existence. So he
That's
said the
not what I said.
time was, excuse me, you want to go ahead
No,
again and speak, and I can speak? Okay, thank you.
no, you
All
can
right.
speak. It's
Now,
fine.
I'm gonna bring you an evidence right now from Thomas. He said you're holding the Thomistic view, right? Let's see what my man Thomas, the saint, said here about this conversation. Hold on. There's something that you guys are trying to run away from. Even I can even quote other classical theists that even run away from this topic because they couldn't answer it because it's actually unanswerable. They literally hold by faith alone. But then, since you guys don't read your books, right? I'll give you something right here in whether it
All
is
right,
an
hold on,
article
hold
of
on. No,
faith.
no, no. You're not going to say that Yakub can't
Can I
debate
speak?
you because he's
Can I
insulting,
speak?
but then
Can I
come
speak?
here and say we
I did
don't
not
read our
insult you. I did not
books.
insult you. I did not insult you.
No,
Okay. Did,
saying
did
that
you
we
read?
don't read our
Did
books
you
is in
read?
fact
Did you read?
insulting. I'm
Okay.
not going to
Did
let
you
you
read the
disrespect
Summa? Did you
critical.
read the Summa, whatever it is? Did you read the Summa?
Not entirely, no, and I never claimed
Okay,
to, but that
great.
doesn't
Okay,
mean we
so
don't
I
read our
claim
books.
again, my claim still stands that you haven't read the Summa. Okay. Whether it is an
No,
article
what
of
you
faith
said
that
is
the
you
world
didn't
began.
read your books. Books
Are you
is
gonna let me speak
plural,
or no?
and yes,
Are
we
you gonna let me
have
speak
read
or no?
Thomistic literature
I'm
on
in the
here.
Soma. I'm in the Soma here. I'm in the Soma here.
Okay,
All right. Okay. So if the Soma, okay, so I still stand. I wasn't disrespectful. I did really mean that you did not read the Soma, and you haven't,
all right,
right?
yeah, it's fine.
Whether it is, all right, be quiet. Whether it is in an article of faith that the world began, right? If you read what Thomas Aquinas says, hold on, let me pull it up. Give me a second. All right. Whether it is an article of faith that the world began, right? Now, if you can read the objections in this, right? Let's hear what my man Thomas Aquinas says, right? You're claiming that you solved this. Right? Let me speak. No, no, no. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Let me speak. Yeah, I'll post the link. Don't worry, bro. I got you. I'll post the link. Okay. Right. Right. So my man, uh, I'll post the link, bro. I will post the link. If the link is the lie, no problem. You can call me on this. You can call me if it's a fabricated book or whatever. All right. So here, my man says what? I answered that by faith alone that we do hold. Sorry, I answered that by faith alone do we hold, and by no demonstration it can be proved that the world did not always exist as was said above of the mystery of the Trinity. The reason of this is that the newness of the world cannot be demonstrated on the part of the world itself. You're trying to answer something and you're trying to solve it, but then you're missing out the whole point. My dear brother,
That's not
even
what Thomas means, though. Hold on.
you know what Thomas
When he
means?
says that you
What
can't
do you mean by
prove
that?
it, he means that you can't prove from natural reason that the world is temporal. That's because they
One
accepted the
minute, 1 minute,
possibility of
1 minute. So
infinitely
what? So
long
what is?
causal
So,
chain.
so what's the delay? Give me the delay. What's the reason behind the delay? Explain it then.
I already explained the sense in that I
No,
mean
you haven't
delay. There's a
explained it. When you say, brother, how did you measure time without time? Wake up. You're saying that there's a delay without time's existence. Are you
I
okay?
already explained what we mean
How?
by
How
delay
does that even
here.
make sense? You're saying
I
I'm
just okay.
measuring a delay. Yeah,
I
bro, listen,
told
listen.
you
Let
the
me speak. Let me
will
speak.
is
Let me
outside
speak.
of
Let me speak.
time and the
I got you. I
effect
got
is
you.
inside of
I,
time.
I
That's
know
the
it's outside of
delay.
time. Like, I know this already. Why are you acting like I didn't know this? Okay, cool. What is outside of time? I already know this pagan classical belief. What do you think this is? My dear brother, when you say that there is a delay, you're entitling time. Already, you're entailing time. When I say that there is a delay, there's no such thing as there is a delay and then the universe was created at a certain point with time. Are you stupid? Wake up. When
Bro,
there
we
is a
I
delay,
already answered this. What are you talking
yo,
about?
bro,
I already
answer this.
explained
How
what I
can
mean
there
when
be
I
a
say
delay?
delay. I
Answer
gave a
this. This is my
specific meaning
question.
for me
This is my
saying
question.
delay.
This is my question. How can there be a delay without time's existence? Go ahead.
Okay, I already explained this. I
How do
said
you
that the
measure it?
will relax just for a second,
How do
man.
you
I
measure
said
it,
that the
brother? How do
will
you
is
measure it, brother? Go
atemporal
ahead.
and the
Go
effect
ahead.
is at t0. So what we say when time so
You
there
see.
is no time prior to t0. You do you agree with this?
Is there a delay?
I said there is no time at t0, right?
If there is a delay, then there's time already, brother. That's what I'm saying. I know you're saying this. I understand.
Okay, yes,
But
when I
again,
use
you're
delay,
making a
I'm using it in a
mistake.
very specific sense. I already
My,
clarified the
my man,
exact
my man.
specific
I
sense
want
I'm
you to just
talking
understand what
about.
I'm saying. I want you to just understand what I'm saying, right? Even if you tell me there's no time at T0, I couldn't care less about what you're saying. Because what is happening here is a delay. A delay cannot happen without time not existing. A delay. Bro, can you define delay for me?
A delay is when there's some duration between the two, and I already accepted that.
What? Guys, you already said? A duration. How can there be a duration without time? Can you explain that?
Yeah, I already explained this, man.
How? Because you're
I
saying there is
told you
no
the
time.
sense
That's
of
an
delay that I'm
explanation.
using.
Yo, listen, this is
Yeah.
recorded, right? I hope, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you believe this is solving it, I hope you post this somewhere. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I have it recorded too, and I will definitely post this. Good conversation, brother. Thank you so much.
So, Avicen decided to end the debate early, right before I was about to restate my explanation and give my answer to his question. This is despite the fact that the initial implication of the question being asked is that he wanted me to answer it. He said that the abrupt stop was because the debate was at a non-optimal time for him. Regardless, this was still abrupt, which didn't allow me to answer, so I think it's best if I answer the question here. There is a duration and or delay only insofar as we are saying that the effect of God's creative act is temporal, whereas the willing itself has no such temporal property. That is, the universe as an effect has temporal property signifying that it is not atemporal, whereas no such similar temporal property is predicated to the will. This scenario is sufficient for saying that there is a delay. Prior to this, I have already clarified that I'm using delay in a very specific sense here, such that saying there's a delay is appropriate in the case that an effect has some temporal property signifying temporal origin at a specific point in time, whilst this cause does not have a similar temporal property signifying that it caused at the same time as the effect occurred. Given that a scenario in which an effect has a temporal property signifying origin, whilst this cause has no temporal property signifying temporality at all, would fit this criteria, I'm justified in saying there is a delay and/or duration in this specific sense. So, given the clear definition of terms that I'm using, what I said was justified and coherent. The argument that duration implies time doesn't prove anything contrary to what I believe, because I already affirmed time exists, given that I affirmed temporal properties apply to an object. It's just that the object is a created object and not the divine will. But no such argument was given to show that duration entails that the divine will specifically and the effect must have the same temporal properties. So this fails to show a contradiction in my model, and thus the objection to classical theism ultimately fails.